Hello. Hello everybody. Here we go. We get going again for round 17 here in season 2. Season 2? What am I waffling? Season 4 of Charging League Racing. Anyway, after that, a bit of a horrendous start. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Charging League Racing. My name is GingerDart1107, and I'm bestly known as Cal. And tonight we do fly away to the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. So, what is Canada? Canada's track, 14 corners. First Grand Prix, it was held in 1978. The circuit length is around 4.3k. 4.3 kilometers for those who don't know what that means. It's about 35 laps here today as well for the 50% race distance that we do carry out here in CLR, unless you've heard the news, which we'll go into a little bit further on. But lap record at circuit Gilles Villeneuve is actually held by Valtteri Bottas. Isn't a full-time driver in real life anymore, but there you go. It was a 1:13 flat, so we'll wait and see if that can be beaten today. And the track, it was man-made. The Notre Dame Island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River was created in 1967 as part of a world fair. Once the expo and ensuring the 1976 Montreal Summer Olympics had left town, some clever people decided to make the racetrack out of the island's road, and the circuit Notre Dame, as it was then, came to be. So the island isn't actually real. It's always an interesting fact, and it is actually quite an interesting track. For those that might know, it is my favourite track on the calendar. It's a great track. It really is. Really good, a good track. As we have a quick look through our session, and there was a little bit of an issue to start off with. There was a little bit of an issue. We won't go too deep into it, but I think this is why. I don't know who that is. Right, we'll continue on. It's really annoying. Right, yeah, we'll continue on. Anyway, I do know that the first one out on track was the Kick Sauber and it was Psycho Lemmy. So Psycho Lemmy will be our first driver to set a hot lap here today. He isn't actually a full-time CLR Thursday driver. He used to be, and then stepped away from the Thursday tier back around round 9 or 8. He's come back again though, as he has a couple of times in CLR Thursday, as a reserve to show his face. He's a full-time CLR Friday driver, and we can see him absolutely throwing it through the corners of Gilles Villeneuve track. He is absolutely flying that Kick Sauber, isn't he, as he passes the Williams driver of Stefania. But here he comes into the second DRS straight. He's going to give it his all here. I think this is the important bit. You want to get as much speed up before this chicane, but at the same time, you need to get that car stopped and into the right-hander, then the left-hander, and avoid the outside curve. Not the best from Psycho Lemmy there. He will know there's time to find, but here he comes. As a banker, he does a 1:10.3. Absolutely showing Valtteri Bottas out of the park for his 2019 lap time. So there you go. But as I have been informed, it will be raining to the end of this session. So it is important our drivers here today do get their hot laps in as soon as possible. Obviously, as you can tell, it's quite a low amount of drivers here today, as it looks like Psycho Lemmy does interfere with an Aston Martin. That would be of MJB. And if MJB was on a hot lap, he could report that. We'll wait and see in a few, or after the race, to see how he feels. But looking at the front, Blow, most of you probably won't recognise him if you just watch the Thursday tier. This is a Polish driver. What does he drive? I think he's Red Bull alongside Scouser in the Friday tier. And in Thursday tier, if you're a long time watcher, he did start near the start with DNF, disqualification, DNF. So he didn't have a good start to the CLR Thursday campaign. in season 4. And then back in Baku, he also joined in, and he did get P5. So there you go. He's a good driver, and he's a good driver in Friday tier for sure, getting his first win, I believe, a couple rounds ago. So let's see what we can bring to the table here in Thursday tier. MJB as well, up in P2. He's a good driver, isn't he? As I accidentally paused it. Let's get off that. There we go. MJB, top of the championship at the moment, ahead of Captain. These two have been going hammer and tong pretty much all season long, but with Captain missing 3 races, he's had a bit of a... oh, sorry. We'll come back to that as Yatin is in the wall there. I think if we ride on board with Jens, yeah, there he is. That Ferrari car is absolutely destroyed on the exit of, I believe, turn 4. Yes, it is. So, yeah, Yatin absolutely destroying the Ferrari. Okay, obviously, Camilo and Rico both aren't here today. So, Yatin flying the flag for the Scarlet Red team. Not what you want to do as the backup driver, do you? You don't want to be doing that. Anyway, as I was talking about, Captain is in a title fight with MJB. He missed 3 races, Singapore, Japan and Baku. Came back at Las Vegas and he did get a P3, beaten by MJB though. So into the final 4 rounds of the season, he's got to do his absolute all to be the Dutchman in the Aston Martin. I haven't touched the game all week, that's why I crashed. Good excuse there, yeah, and I like that one. It's fine. No worries. That's what most people say. That's what I'd say normally, because I don't like to touch the game unless I am racing or doing CLR Thursday commentary, because it's always a good bit of fun, isn't it? Always a good bit of fun. Ricciardo though is in the Red Bull. I think he's having internet trouble, and I'm not sure where Creon is. If Creon comes in, he can jump into the kick sal, not the kick sal, but the V carb. I will just let him know. V-carb. So, there he is. I'll just give him an invite. I think Ricciardo's trying to get back in as well, but I can't see him yet. No, he's not managing yet. I'll just give Ricciardo a message as well. Perfect. So, yeah, as you can see, Ricciardo is normally in the V-carb team, as I just had to sort that out. He is normally in the V-carb team. With a little bit of an issue to start the session, he's been chucked in the Red Bull, and I'm going to put Creon into the V-carb to replace Ricciardo. So they've had a little bit of a switch by Helmut Marko. There you go. Anyway, looking towards the front. At the race in action, MJB. There he is, in the Aston Martin, currently at P1. He has toppled below, and so has Captain, who's also toppled the Haas driver. Stefania as well, she was down at the bottom of the pack, she's done another lap and is up to, was P4, now P6, as Humph and George Gamer are both put Stefania down more positions. For those that also enjoy watching or join in with Friday tier and just like to watch the Thursday tier, Humph has nearly wrapped up CLR Friday with 4 rounds to go. I believe on points, he will actually be able to mathematically win it next time out in CLR Friday. MJB can't win it just yet. Captain is still in for a chance, but Humph, looking towards tomorrow night, has got a big chance to get his first championship under his belt. At the moment, mathematically, I don't think he can win it. He's down in P5, about 100 points behind MJB. So yeah, unless Humph has a masterclass and MJB has a shocker, I don't think even mathematically he can win it, but he can get very, very close. But there comes the Kick Sauber. That's Psycho Lemmy going on to another hot lap. There we go. We'll wait and see what he can do. George Gamer as well, with Reggie not there. It's the first time that both Williams drivers haven't been here, I believe. No, Reggie's missed about 2 so far, and that was just for a small occasion, whereas Reggie won't be here this race, and I don't think he'll be here for the final race. So George Gamer having to fly the flag quite high for Williams at the moment, as they are in the hunt for Aston Martin at the moment. Obviously, it's George Gamer versus MJB. MJB doesn't have a teammate on the charts, so MJB, excuse me, having to do his all. That was very rude, excuse me. Creon leaving the session as well. I think he saw my message. We'll just wait and see as he is typing. But we do see Jens coming into the pit lane as well. Everyone doing their first laps already and coming into the pit lane. Literally everyone, as Dino Stan is another one to be in P10, setting his first lap time and is staying there. Psycho Lemmy invalidated his lap time. Looks like he is going again. And then Furious Happy going to do his first lap time. I think he invalidated the previous one. Enrica Ricciardo having issues at the start of this session. Okay, so a little bit of admin sorted. Looking at the field though, it looks like Dino Stan's gone again, and yes he has. Dino Stan at the moment in the championship is only down in P23, missing quite a few races, and when he has raced, not having his best results. At the moment he is rocketed the Hastra team up to P6. Dino Stan's teammate of Dear Alex are not actually here today. That man, Dear Alex, is a very, very quick, winning the last 3 races here in CLR. Very quick driver indeed. Max Tier 21 in the Alpine is down in P11. Very, very back of the pack. Will we see Furious Happy toppling him? It looks like he's actually on quite a good lap time, actually, you know. Furious Happy going purple in Sector 2. I will just keep an eye on him, as that was a very good lap time. Not sure if it was just the F1 game doing its normal glitchy thing where it shows the wrong lap, but I want to keep an eye on him. Here comes Furious Happy across the line. He does actually beat Max Tier 21 in the Alpine, so the Red Bull showing a bit of pace here in Canada. Montreal nearly quite close to Furious Happy as well as Bubba, as both McLarens come out on track at the same time, closely followed by a George Gamer. I'll give him another invite, of course I can. Sorry about the issues on the other end of the screen, guys. We're trying our best to get things sorted. I didn't expect to get racing this early. Didn't expect it. But we'll continue on. I don't want to talk about it for now. Here comes Stefania, though. She is going on to another hot lap. There she goes across the line. In a minute 13, or about a minute 9, we will see her coming across the line for another time. A very short lap times here in Montreal. But who we will see across the line in a minute will be the McLarens as they go on to another hot lap. As George Gamer and Bubba having a little bit of racing action into the hairpin. That's turn 10 here in Montreal. A little bit of racing action in qualifying. A little bit of excitement to have involved here in round 17 qualifying. As Bubba is really shaking that McLaren around, isn't he? Giving that McLaren a little bit of heat. Maybe they're struggling with temperature here in Canada at the moment. It can be quite chilly here, can't it? Can be quite chilly. But there you go. Here comes Captain once again to see if he can improve on his lap time. Only 900ths off of MJB, nearly a 10th, but only 900ths off of the guy ahead of him. Can he topple him as we go through Sector 1? He does improve by 3 tenths as I again pause it. I apologise. I'll stop trying to do that. 3 tenths improvement from the British man. Oh, he's in. Oh, so there we go. Perfect. Okay, moving back on. Here comes Captain as he comes across the line. Below had improved his lap time into P1, but Captain comes across the line and topples that, improving by about 3 tenths. A good improvement through Sector 1, and he managed it through to the end. And yeah, up to P1. A good lap time from him. As George Gamer, I believe, has abandoned his lap time and does have the Haas of Below just chilling behind him, both of them on cooldowns. looking to get that DRS by the looks of it, as Blow does go past them. I think Furious Appy's also on our lap time. Not sorry, Furious Appy, Psycho Lemmy. No, he's not. He has invalidated here. So we'll wait and see what can happen with him. MJB on a hot warm-up. So is Kumpf, Stefania, George, Dino-san coming out of the pit lane are all on warm-ups. Jens, we saw absolutely skittering over the chicane there through turn 4 and 3 complex. All he's got to do now, though, is give that DRS to Max Tier. And if he has the fuel, can he manage to do another lap time? We'll wait and see. But he does give that extra toe to Max Tier and then goes rocketing off the track. Playing the game a little bit there. I think it's okay, but he's playing the game a little bit. We'll look to see how he can do it. Blow retires in the pit lane, clearly thinking he can't improve that lap time at all. But here comes Jens. He's going to give Max Tier that beautiful, beautiful slipstream that you need. And we'll quickly see... Oh, McLaren's just putting into the pit lane. We see Max here getting a huge amount of DRS. George getting retires in pit lane as well. But there he goes through the far chicane. Takes it very, very nicely. Is that going to be good enough to rocket him up the order? Let's wait and see. Yes, it is. Up to P5. Still 8/10 off of the top. But he has put himself up to P5. Just ahead of the Williams duo of Stefania and George Gamer. So good lap time from the Max Tier. Wait and see what can Jens do as he goes for another lap time. But here comes Furious Appy. Not Furious Appy, Psycho Lemmy. He does improve, and he improves by 6/10. Also beating the Williams duo just behind a Max Tier. Didn't get that crucial DRS advantage. Creon as well. It looks like he is going onto a hot lap. No, he has invalidated. So Creon, hot lap will be abandoned. I think he might have enough time to get round and then try and go again. It's just if he has enough fuel. We'll wait and see on that. MJB as well. Has he gone off for another lap? I think he might be at the moment. I think he is. We'll wait and see as he comes through sector 1. No. MJB has set another lap time, and that is it. Let's see if he'll have enough fuel. Otherwise, 3P3 will be the best for the Dutchman. As here comes the Alpine duo, though, as Captain retires in the pit lane. Where are they? Here's Jens. He gave the toe to Max Tier. Max Tier flies across the fire chicane, clearly abandoning that lap time. I think he wants to go again, though. He has run out of fuel, though, so Max Tier's qualifying is well and truly over. I think he tried to give that slipstream to Jens, and Jens not doing enough there. Wait and see how these two do. What else is going on? Who is next across the line? It will be Creon, who did abandon that lap time. Looks like he'll be going again, though. Then you have MJB, who pulls into the pit lane, so his lap time has been abandoned. Stefania will be going again as well, but she has invalidated. Is that going to cancel out? No, so she did have an incident into the final corner. You then have the Mercedes of Humph. Looks like he's going again, as Stefania is out of the way and nicely there. And Max Tier has run out of fuel. Hopefully he'll jump out the way of the Red Bull. Yes, he does, as Furious Appy does fly past the Alpine driver. But here comes Jens. This is who I want to see. Is Jens going to be able to topple his teammate, or will he stay down in P10? Let's wait and see as he comes into the final chicane. Can he get any extra time out of this Alpine? He's had a fairly good run. Here he comes to the line now, ahead of his teammate by just about a 10th. Very good lap time from Jens as the rain begins to fall here in Montreal. There's only a few lap times left as Dino-san pulls it into the pit lane. Yeah, that'll be it, I believe, as Humph will be the final one to be able to set a lap time. And so will Creon. Let's wait and see if Creon can do anything. Creon comes towards the line now. Isn't going to be anything to push him up the order? No, it's not, as the rain will probably have affected him in that final chicane, losing a little bit of time. So Creon does stay P13, and Humph, I believe, invalidated. Yes, he did, as he comes across the line, and he is the final driver to complete his qualifying session here in Montreal. Holy. Ricciardo has had a very poor internet trouble, as yeah, there he is, struggling. Anyway, that is qualifying well and truly over here in Montreal. Captain on pole, closely followed behind by below with MJB rounding off the top 3. Humph, then the Alpine duo of Jens and Max here get a P5 and 6. With Psycho Lemmy, Stefania and George to P8 and 9. Dino-san rounds off the top 10 with Bubba, Furious Appy, Creon, Yatin and Ricciardo rounding off the final 5. Obviously, Yatin crashing, not setting a lap time, and Ricciardo having issues in the session, not getting him into a lap. But we'll wait and see if they can join back in for the race and see if anything can happen. What was I going to say earlier on about the excitement? I can't remember, but I am going to rule, what I do remember is I'm going to roll a little bit of an advert. We're going to roll 1 minute 30 advert as Yatin thinks he's going to do a P14 to question mark challenge. Ooh. I think Yatin will get P3 today, I think. We'll wait and see, as he's probably got an advert, so we didn't hear that, but I do think Yatin will get P3 here today. I can't remember what I was going to say. Earlier on, I said I was going to say it later on, but I can't remember. Oh, yes. Yes. So, if you aren't aware, looking towards CLR Thursday and Friday, Season 5, we have got CLR Thursday launch season happening when the F125 game comes out in about a month's time. It will be involving CLR Thursday, CLR Friday, and CLR Sunday. CLR Thursday and CLR Friday won't change. This will be the same old. It'll be me, George, Max, all of us doing our normal thing. You know, how it all works. But CLR Sunday will be 100% here with, what was I going to say? It's going to be 100% here, but it's going to be with some new drivers, some faces that you might recognise from other places, but it's going to be with some new names. And that is going to be from FSRL. It was announced earlier this week that it'd be coming over, and obviously it's been in the works for quite a while. But that is what you will, some of you like to hear. Yeah, FSRL will be becoming. It's going to be the exact same, apart from the fact it will be labelled as CLR rather than FSRL, and Max Tier will be in charge of it rather than Nivi. Yatin says he did hear it, so Yatin does believe in me, thinking he's going to get P3. But for now, we do have a 2-minute pause. It looks like George has just waffled. We'll wait and see. But yeah, George giving that 2-minute reminder. We'll wait and see what will happen in the race. We have got 35 laps ahead of us to get going on. What else is there to say? There's not much else to say, is there? I've gone over all the interesting facts. I just want to see some racing action. 15 drivers here today. I'm sure going to have some. Pinkweb in chat. Hello, Pinkweb. How are you? He says P6. P6. Interesting. Isn't Weeby meant to be a CLR Thursday driver? And is he meant to be here today? Unless he is here today. I haven't seen him. Oh, no, he's not. He's not. I think that is Pinkweb, though. I'm not sure. But anyway, hello, Pinkweb. It's first time chat, so I'm not 100% sure if that's you. He says P6 for Yatin, I'm assuming. I think, if that is what you're talking about, Yatin getting P6, I don't think so. I think Yatin, when he starts from the back, he's actually quite a good little driver. If he starts from the front, it's shocking, he falls backwards. But I feel like if we're going from the back, maybe he can switch it around and go forwards instead. We'll wait and see. He's bad at Canada. No, I think I still stand by my point, Yatin. I think you're going to get quite fast. I don't know how fast the others are. Well, CLR Thursday is very competitive, and obviously we're missing quite a few drivers here today. 6 full-time drivers are not joining. Oh, sorry, 7, I think. Yeah, 7 not joining in. A few reserves coming in, but the reserves are not to be sniffed at. They're very, very good drivers from CLR Friday, just here to have a bit of fun. But CLR Thursday drivers are definitely here to win, aren't they? They're all here to win at the end of the day. All here to win. George gives the ready up command, though. Alright. I probably should get myself into gear, as we're going to have a form lap to get underway with. And then we will have the 35 laps of Canada to get underway, as I do hear that 5-second call to get ready. Or is it 10 seconds? I think I'd know by now. Feels like 10 seconds. I think it's 10 seconds. That beep. Anyway, here are your drivers coming into our form lap now. I'm just going to get my little bit of a sort out, and there we go. So. Is Ricciardo here? No, he's not. He is in AI. I will just give him an invite, just in case. There he is. Try and get him back into the racing action. But here we go. This will be a little bit of a warm-up lap for our drivers to get their tyres into temperature And let's show you the tyres as well, shall we? So there are your current strategies here in Montreal. Your top 5 are on the mediums. Max tier going for the softer tyre here in Canada. That is an interesting call indeed. It's not very normal week to see the soft tyre being used as a strategy call anywhere in the F1 games. But we'll wait and see what Max tier can do with that. The following 3, Lemmy, Stefania and George on the mediums, with Danis on the hards, Fiosapi, Creon and Ricciardo also on the hards, and then Bubba and Yatin have gone for the mediums as well. So there's a bit of a mix through the back of the field, but the front seems to be quite similar on the tyre strategies. But we'll wait and see, won't we? As Pink Web drops a follow, thank you very much for the follow. If anyone else is in chat and hasn't followed, make sure you do, because the more follows, the better we get spread around the Twitch. So that's what we want. We want CLR to be as big as it physically can be, don't we? As big as it can. Anyway, who wants to be as big as he can as well is going to be captain. He has got the outside line through this little kink. If we go towards turn 1, he will have the inside as he does get into his pit box. A very nice, grid box. Blow follows him on the front row, and then you can see the rest of the field rounding off. And here comes Ricciardo into his grid position 2. Anyway, here are your top 15 drivers as we get going once again here in CLR Thursday, round 17. So we go 2, 4, 5 red lights to ignite the silence. We are going very, very quickly here in CLR Thursday, and Blow gets an incredible start off of the line onto the outside of turn 1, then the inside is up into P1. Hump also tries to make moves on the start of this lap, and it looks like Max here has made position past Stefania as well. Jens trying to make moves through the fields. He just dropped down a little bit though. MJB has a bit of a poor start, but her Blow with an incredible launch off of the line up into P1. Here is Captain as well in P2, does defend off Hump off of the star. Max did an incredible start, and Ricciardo has left the session, retiring his car. Creon in the back is making moves from P13. It's up to P11 side by side with Dion in the Haas. He does get a little bit of a love tap between them both. They do go slightly off track, but they're back side by side again as we go towards 10. Here comes Yatin with a double overtake in the Ferrari, and is up to P11 himself from the back of the field. And there's a collision. That's the Alpine. Max here and Stefania cause a collision on the exit of turn 10. Both of them, I believe, with damage out of that. P9 and 11 now they are down to from P4 and 5. George Gaming gets promoted up to P4. Mr. P4 Merchant is back where he belongs, as there's even more switches across the field. Not sure what that is for. Stefania retiring in the pit lane, clearly having too much damage. Max here also changing his front wing, and so is MJB. MJB changes his front wing from lap 1. I didn't see what happened to the Dutchman. We'll have to wait and see as Stefania also leaves the session. But anyway, at the front of the field, we'll continue going of what is actually going on. As there's another collision. Dino Stan is into the wall. That is on the exit of turn 4, I believe. Yes, it was. I think he's alright though, with no damage. Just continues to go on. Maybe a little bit of heat into the tyres. But at the front, this is what I want to go back to, as I wanted to go back to a second ago. Already a bit of a shaky start here, and Yatin is up to P7 on the outside of Bubba though, on the turn 10 hairpin. Can he get the traction down? Yes, he has a huge squeeze though, bit of an unfair squeeze, but he does his best to get past the McLaren as we see them coming down the straight towards the wall of champions. Bubba goes to the inside of the chicane, but he can't have enough overspeed to get past. But back at the front, as I do want to see these lot, as I do see Jatin and Bubba going hammer and tong once again. But the front below is in the front of the field still, with Captain close behind, and so is Hump. As we do have a virtual safety car. The virtual safety car has been called out, and I don't know why, but it is out. I believe it would probably just be for damage on the track. There's probably a lot of debris after a couple of collisions throughout the start of this race. So yeah, this virtual safety car has been called out via race control. It gives everyone a bit of a cooler. Cool the engines, cool the tyres, save a bit of battery, and get ready to go again. It will only be for about a lap, and you have to get your delta right, or there will be a drive-through penalty coming your way. But there you go, we go again. So that is it. Penalty not giving to anyone, but Humph with an incredible start off of the line from the virtual safety car. As at the back, MJB has crashed once again with, I believe, probably Creon and Max here. But I want to see the front. Humph is trying his best to get past Captain, back into P2. But Captain's looking to get back into P1 as he goes to the inside. Down the straight, he has managed it and is passed below. It's a good move from the McLaren driver up into P1. Below has dropped down. Can he have the DRS? No, he cannot, as it is just the one detection point for both of the DRS straights. Humph doesn't have enough overspeed, though, to get himself up into P2. So we'll wait and see if he can do anything later on in this session. What else is going on? As Dino-san has hit the wall of champions, and we have another virtual safety car. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, he has just hit the wall of champions. So our third retirement in 3 laps. Blimey, isn't it? What a race to start off with. Going on to lap 4, we've had 3 retirements. And Captain is back into the lead of the Grand Prix after a fairly poor start to the race. Looking in Twitch chat, we have Roshi Hunter, that is Rico, saying, how are you today? Not bad, not bad, how yourself? We've had a very shaky start to the Grand Prix. We'll wait and see how it unfolds. We've still got about 30 laps ahead of us. So about 30 minutes left to go. A lot of excitement still to unravel here in CLR as always. There's always a lot of excitement to do, isn't there? Always, always, always. Let's see if this one is as short as the other one. The other one was very short, wasn't it? It was literally like a sector or two. This one has been a little bit longer. But wait and see when it comes in. I don't know when it's coming in. It just suddenly, all the drivers go foot to the floor and get racing again. As that is the Alpine of Jens into the pit lane, and I think that might be for damage, as he does also speed. It's very, very slow here in Montreal. It's not for damage, it's for a tyre change. Onto the hards very early, as Creon gets a 10-second time penalty for hitting Max here. It's been a crazy start. Anyway, let's continue on, as the virtual safety car has been called out of the racing action and has made Captain get back underway up into P1. Can he pull away from Blow or Humph? I don't know. He's got about a lap for the DRS gets back turned on via race control. Is that enough for him, though? He's a very good driver, Captain, isn't he? He showed his class. Some of you might remember from CLR Thursday, Singapore. I believe it was CLR Thursday. It might have been CLR Friday, where he won by about 10 seconds, 11 seconds. That was an absolute class show from the McLaren driver. Wait and see. I think it must have been CLR Friday. I don't think it was here for CLR Thursday. But DRS has been activated already via race control. So you get going again with Below. Can Below do anything to get back into P1 after an incredible start from the house driver? Wait and see. As we also want to wait and see, is Psycho Lemmy close enough to get past the 3-time world champion of George Gamer? He looks to the inside. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He does stay behind as he goes on to lap 6. Roshi Hunter says, good to hear, couldn't make it in time, no worries, mate. No worries at all, you can always come back later on, maybe next week. Maybe next week is your time to shine. Yatin doing his best, though, in that Scarlet Red Ferrari to keep that P6, as he is just got Bubba close behind. Pinkweb, sorry, did say that Yatin might get P6, and he is right at the moment, but wait and see, as there's still a lot to play for here in Montreal. Humph, though, is doing his best to keep up with the 2 ahead of him, but the 2 ahead of him are very, very close as we come out of turn 10. Below is only about a 10th behind the McLaren, and you can see how close he is actually on track as he goes onto the grass to try and get past the McLaren, spray into the Mercedes car behind him, and he is passed before the second DRS straight. So this is just going to be how far can Below get ahead of Captain, and can Humph do anything to get past Captain himself? No, he cannot. So these 3 for sure will be going hammer and tong for quite a while, where Psycho Lemmy has got past George Gamer up into P4. Excuse me, but where are we? Here we are with Bubba in P7. We're looking towards Yatin in that Ferrari. Yatin looks like he's struggling a bit. Maybe a tyre attempt, as he is skittering across the track, drifting through most of the corners at the moment. Clearly struggling a little bit, and so is Psycho Lemmy, clearly struggling a little bit as he is skittering through some corners as well. Jens again into the pit lane, serves the 10-second time penalty in that Alpine pit box, changes the front wing, and is onto a set of mediums from that hard tyre. Hard tyres here in Montreal do last about 20-25 laps, I believe, if you want to take it that long. Obviously, optimal isn't that long, but it can go quite a long time. And, yeah, he's back onto the mediums. I'm not sure what's happened to him. We'll wait and see. I'm sure he'll be complaining because he likes to complain. But Captain still has the lead off below. So I say still. I think below did get past me. He just missed the overtake for the lead. I'm missing quite a bit at the moment, aren't I? A little bit off my head at the moment. Apologies for that. But yeah, we just saw below as he briefly went on board with the Haas car, drifting through turn 4, and has actually nearly lost that second, and he has lost that second gap to Captain. He was within the second as we went across the detection points. We will be okay, but that's not what you want to have, is it? Nearly falling out of that DRS. We're going to come through what is turn 9, and that is detection point just on the exit there. So we will have DRS again for the following 2 DRS straights, but will he get past? I don't think he will. I don't think he's close enough to have that advantage to get past the McLaren. As we do have a bot in chat. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do. Can I do anything? Oh, I can ban them. There you go. Get banned, buddy. But yeah, there you go. Here comes Blow. Not actually got enough to get ahead of Captain this lap. He has closed up a little bit, and they've both dropped Hump respectively. So Hump has fallen out of the DRS of the top 2 as he drifts through turn 2. Yeah, it has turn 2. So yeah, drifts through turn 2, trying to keep up to ahead, and he can't manage it. Psycho Lemmy, another one who can't catch up to the top 3. But at the moment, with Hump falling out of the DRS of these 2, maybe that does give Psycho Lemmy the chance to try and close up to the Mercedes driver. We'll wait and see, as well as George Gamer as well. I'm sure Yatin, another driver, that would be very, very interested in getting into that fire ahead of him. 2.5 seconds he has to try and pull. But Bubba definitely wants to get past that Ferrari car as well, as that is going to start to cook his medium tyre, as he's probably going to want to extend a little bit on the tyre he's on. 21, also known as Ricciardo, is in chat saying, let's go Bubba, cheering on his fellow compatriot. But at the front, below, we did say he might have fallen out a little bit. No, he's not, proving a point. Back up into P1, past Captain, and obviously he does get the DRS for a second time down this DRS straight, and has pulled a 6/10 margin on the McLaren behind, and Hump is just dropping like a dead fly as 2.4 seconds, 2.6 seconds, and Psycho Lemmy is rocketing forwards towards that Mercedes car. I'm not sure what's happened to Hump. Normally quite a good race day driver, at the moment clearly struggling in the Mercedes, clearly not bought the right package, as having a bit of an issue here in Montreal, as Yatin is the second driver to suffer from the 3 second time penalties. Warnings around here are given out like candy to a child, aren't they? It's very, very easy to get given here in Montreal, because it's such an easy track to go off. Look at how much runoff there is, and how much you want to try and cut as much as you can. As we talk about that, Max here is another driver to suffer from the penalties. We have Roshi Hunter say, yes, come on lads. Weeby also cheering on Bubba. Pinkweb might be someone else, I think. I think Weeby and Pinkweb are someone else. So hello, Weeby. And Roshi Hunter say, where is Bijon? Bijon, oh sorry, moving back off that. We'll come back to that. Creon has a little bit of an incident there. I think that's into turn 7. Yes, it is. And he has got the entire V-carb intact. But yeah, a little bit of an incident in the P11 at the moment. It will bring Jens back into contention. It was 19 seconds. Now 13 seconds. So Jens trying his best to hunt down ahead of him. Roshi Hunter saying, where is Bijon? We'll get into that now. So Bijon, I don't think he was here anymore. I think he's having a good day out at the beach. But he has got a race ban today and tomorrow. That is because he has reached the limit in penalty points. So when you reach 12 penalty points overall on your license and CLR, you get a penalty, and that is moving away Furious Appy is another driver to have an instant. This time in turn 3, turn 4 complex. Furious Appy spins. I think he's got the entire car on attack still. Yes, he does. But it's going to definitely have cooked his tyres a little bit. As yeah, that's not what you want to have on the hard tyres. As he's probably going to try and extend a little bit. So I will show you the tyres at the moment. A little bit of a mixed strategy as people pitting throughout the session. What was I saying? But yeah, he reached the penalty limit of 12 penalty points. If you do that, you get a race ban on both days. It's been, obviously, it seems a bit harsh, but it's definitely being looked at. But yeah. That is a race ban for Race Grower or Bijan. So you won't see him tomorrow either. Whilst you saw, whilst I was talking about that, you did see Captain getting past below, and you would have also seen one of the medium tyres of Yatin coming into the pit lane early on. He is down past Bubba, obviously, as Bubba was very close behind him. But I think he'll come out just ahead of Furious Appy. Yes, he has. So Yatin, obviously, the Canadian pit lane comes out into turn 2 rather than turn 1. So the drivers had to take turn 1, and then whilst they go into turn 2, you have the pit lane exit. So you have to. It's quite easy to get that little bit of an undercut or possible overcut as well here in Canada. 21 says not racing because my game decided to give up on me. He also says that Bijan's the GOAT. So does Roshi Hunter. Very good driver. CLR Friday Season 3 champion. If you remember that. Run around Miami. The beautiful circuit of Miami as we go there this weekend here in real life. It's a very interesting track. I like Miami. It's only in real life. On the game, shocking. Hate it on the game. But in real life, because Landon Norris won there, we gotta love it, don't you? Roshiana says, where you were too quick. Anyways, 21, it's fair to give the other drivers a chance. True that. Where is 21 in the racing world at the moment? He is currently P12. He went 10th, 10th, 9th, 10th, DNF 10th, DNF 7th, DNF 10th, 6th, DNF 12th, DNS and 5th. So, good result from last time round in the US at Las Vegas, wasn't it? Wasn't it? 21? What a result in Las Vegas. I don't think I mentioned that on stream, but you're getting it now. What an incredible result from 21 last time out. Had a bit of a shaky season, getting P10s pretty much all the time, as we do see Blow getting back past Captain or with the DRS. But 21 with an incredible result last time out. He must be gutted he can't make it this time. He would have continued that form, wouldn't he? He would definitely want to continue that form. 21, Las Vegas race was a crazy one. For sure it was, for sure it was. The hump into the pit lane early on. Is anyone else follow him? Yes, they are. Psycho Lemmy, George Gamer, both follow. So does Bubba. So all of these drivers are coming in early for the hard tyres. Well, I say early, we're already on lap 14. We're flying through this race. But let's see what Yatin can do in the Ferrari. Can he get that undercut, pitting earlier than everyone else? Looks like he's going to come out ahead of Bubba, as he already was. But can he come out ahead of Psycho Lemmy and George Gamer? There they are on the exit. Both ghosted. He's very, very close against George Gamer side by side. It was 2.3 second gap. It's now only a 10th. Yatin with a huge, huge undercut. And is very, very close to the drivers in front of him now, isn't he? He has brought himself into the fight as Creon gets a 3 second time penalty again. But he is definitely... as Maxi gets another 3 second time penalty, as he is behind Furious Appy. Yatin has brought himself into this top fight. As at the front, there's another top fight. That's between Below and Captain, as I think Below comes into the pit lane. Yes, he does. And Captain stays out for another lap. But yeah, Below into the pit lane, trying to get that undercut, as he clearly has been shown by Yatin how good it is. Everyone's saying how crazy the Las Vegas race was. Yes, it was. From my perspective, it was actually quite exciting. If you look back at the stream, I caught the very, very good bits and missed the chaos. So watch the stream. It was great. I loved it. It was such a good race to commentate on. Probably one of my favourites, I have to say. It was probably one of my favourites, as I did see at the back there, as he was watching Below exit the pit lane. George Gamer classing the wall on the exit of, what's that, the final corner for turn 14. And that is the World of Champions, a place that he deserves to hit. That is definitely a place that he deserves to hit. A 3-time world champion, alongside the name of Evan and Race Bra. So CLR Thursday was Season 1. was Evan, as we do see... No, we don't. We do see Yatin very close behind the Psycho Lemmy, but I'm going to continue on. Season 2 CLR Thursday was won by George. We then had F124 launch season Thursday was won by George. CLR Thursday Season 3 was won by George. So he's defending 3 times now into this season. And he won't be able to do anything this going into this Season 4. We'll wait and see. It's between Captain and MJB. Possibly Race Rise. He's still in contention. And into CLR Friday Season 3 was won by Race Brother. Bit of a nerdy stats I am for CLR stats, aren't I? I do like my stats. Anyway, here comes Captain. He's going to have to try and get out close to below. Has he managed it with the overcuts? No, he hasn't. He's ended up coming up behind, but he is still very, very close. We did see Humph trying to go for the undercut, and he's closed a little bit, but there's not much as he would have liked to do. But we did see Yatin there, getting past Psycho Lemmy. Yatin, George and Psycho Lemmy are very, very good friends off the track. They know each other from many, many places. But on track here in CLR, everything goes. Everything's out the window. Don't care about the friendship. They want to win. They want to win this fight. And P4 Merchant George Gamer is definitely going to want to get that P4. That's the place where he likes to be. Wait and see whether he can get it, okay, if he can defend it from the drivers behind him, as the Alpine duo trying to get themselves back into this fight. Max Tier not too far behind MJB at the moment, as these two hang a bit of an instant off the start, trying to bring themselves back up the order. And same for Jans, as he is trying to bring himself back up the order. Currently in P10, pit very early on. He'll definitely have to pit again, but he's currently in P10. We'll wait and see what he can do. Blow does set the fastest after the race at the moment, as we do obviously go onto the fresh tyres, a lighter amount of fuel now. These cars will be feeling very, very nice at this stage in the race until these tyres go off. But the tyres at the moment giving the Yatin the optimal brick as he goes around the outside of turn 2. No, he doesn't. He goes for the switchback on a 3-time world champion. You can't do that, Yatin. He's going to cover you off very nicely, as Yatin does have to settle behind. Psycho Lemmy following though does get a 3-second time penalty. Here are your current penalty standings. Yatin, Psycho Lemmy with 3, Max with 6, and Creon with 29. 2 10-second time penalties, I believe, and 3 3-second time penalties. So, unlucky for him, really. He's had a bit of a horrible race, hasn't he? As Jens is our only 2-stop at the moment. Obviously, you don't expect a 2-stop this earlier in the race, but it's not what he wanted to do, is it? It's not what he wanted to do. At the front, though, as we see another switch, DRS games between these both. Captain back up to P1, past Blow. Humph, he's got no chance. Now he's falling out the DRS. He's just got to try and settle for the P3, as he's in a world of his own. As Yatin tries to get past George Gamer, ends up just backing out. Was that the right call? I'd say not, as he is now fallen a huge amount behind George. And Psycho Lemmy is gone, if you're going to back out, I'm not. Psycho Lemmy's not known for backing out, and he has got past that German driver of Yatin. So, yeah, Yatin not doing his normal brain strat. He's gone with the Ferrari strat and has fallen down to P6. Bubba in the second McLaren. Or first, wherever you want to argue, but in the second McLaren. Currently in P7, he's in a world of his own, just like Humph, really, isn't he? He's doing his best at the moment. He's doing quite well up in P7. Normally quite a Mr. Saturday driver is Bubba, and he's just managing himself. He's going to try and hold off MJB for quite a long time. If MJB just close up, though, I'm sure we'll see Bubba doing huge defending, as we see below at the front, getting back past Captain. Obviously, they're switching pretty much every lap down that straight, aren't they? Just playing the game as hard as they can. As Humph, again, isn't actually closing at all. It's just losing heaps of time, but he's not losing much time to the guys behind of him. So, clearly, just the top 2 of Captain and Below showing incredible speed. So, yeah, very good drivers, aren't they? Very, very good drivers. George Gamer, still on P4. Defending off Psycho Lemmy, and Yatin is starting to settle down on P6. I'm sure Pinkweb would be chuffed looking to see Yatin in P6, but I don't think Yatin would be. I don't think Yatin would be at all, as we've only got 16 laps left of this Grand Prix. It's very much closing in towards the second portion of this race, if not further in already. So it's very, very exciting here in CLR. What else have we got happening at the moment? Up at the front, there's a bit more happening. Obviously, it's a bit very quiet, isn't it? Just kind of trying to fill in. I'm hoping Roshi Hunter and 21 are still here to give me a little bit of a conversation. But Captain, interestingly, hasn't actually got back past Blow on this lap. He's stayed behind him. So we did see them switching quite a bit through that second DRS straight off the lap, which is down towards turn 13, 14. But they didn't switch this time. So maybe Captain losing a little bit of speed, but at the moment it looks like he's gained it back. Maybe he'll just save harvesting a little bit of battery that lap, as he has definitely brought that McLaren's engine a little bit quicker, as he is speedy once again. George Gamer, Cyclemic and Yatin still in this free along the train, doing whatever they can to try and keep close, as we see Cleon coming out of the pit lane. He is lapped to Bubba and is just chilling behind him now. He's probably going to try and get back past Bubba though, as he will have the fresher tyre, and he probably does have the advantages that he would want. We'll wait and see. But George Gamer just doing enough at the moment to keep Psycho Lemmy and Bubba behind, sorry not Bubba, Yatin behind him. So we'll wait and see what he can do as we go on towards lap 21 now, with Captain getting back past Blow on that second DRS straight as they go through the wall of champions. Captain comes across the line onto lap 21. These laps are flying by as they are beginning to set quicker and quicker lap times. Very much going green, these two. The other guys behind them, though, clearly struggling with a little bit of pace compared to the top two. Very quick today, aren't they? Very quick. As, yeah, Captain did set at 11.1 and George Game comes across the line to do a 12.6. So huge gap between the lap time setting between these drivers, but there's definitely a different fight going on between them all. George Gamer is going to be looking in his mirrors pretty much constantly, whereas Captain doing a little bit of both. I will just mention, MJB and Max Tier have been on that hard tyre since lap 2. So, will they be able to go to the end? Ooh. They have 16 laps left to go, which would end up making them go for those tyres for about 30... Sorry, there's only 14 laps to go. So they'll only go on for those tyres for about 33 laps. Hard tyres can go the distance, but they will be screaming and they'll have to do a good amount of management, and I don't think MJB's managing. I think he's giving it his all as he hunts down Bubba, so is Max Deer. Jens as well, we did see going on to the hard tyres that he was previously on, as Yasin gets another 3-second time penalty. But yeah, Jens will go to the end, but MJB and Max Deer will keep an eagle eye on to see if they can stick it out to the end or will have to pit again. Everyone else, I think we'll be able to stick it out to the end on this compound. We'll wait and see though. If there's a late safety car, anything can change, can't it? Anything can change. But at the moment, it's been quite quiet, isn't it? So we have a talk about what's actually happening. So, in the CLR Thursday team standings, we have McLaren on top with 313 points, with Aston Martin close behind, 253. Obviously, they'll be looking to hunt them down, but with this result, it does give McLaren a bit more of a breather than they already have. And obviously Bubba as well, doing his best to score as many points as he can for the McLaren team. Williams as well. Don't count them out of the Aston P2 fight with Aston Martin. So Aston Martin, we happen to look behind them as well as ahead, as Williams are only on 228 compared to Aston Martin on 253. So it's about 30-point difference. There's definitely a fight on here, isn't there? As Williams will actually outscore Aston Martin if things stay as they are at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that. Behind, you have Sauber and Alpine, with neither Sauber of Weeby or Bijon here tonight. Alpine will jump ahead as long as they don't retire of Sauber. All they need to do is score 2 points. If they score 1 point, they'll be equal, but on countback, they'll be behind. But if they score 2 points, they'll be ahead of the Kick Sauber teams. Behind them, you've got Mercedes and Haas. Haas doing an absolute masterclass, going from the back of the constructor standings to the P7 through about 4 races. So good result from them. They'll be looking ahead to try and gain a bit more. But at the moment, no point scores from them. Same for the VCarb team, as they won't score any points with Ricciardo, nor his teammate of... who's his teammates? Who's the teammate in the VCarb? I don't think he has one. I think it's Igor, yeah. So the VCarb teammate is vacant, so there'll be no points scored in the VCarbs. Ferrari, both Ricos, we do see a little bit of a move. Sorry, excuse me, I missed that. Yatin tries to go for a move on Psycho Lemmy as we go on to lap 24. On the inside of turn 1, ends up going sideways, so Yatin falls behind by about 2.6 seconds. He's got to try now hunt back into that P4 fight, but George Game looks in his mirrors, sees what's happened, and puts his foot down, and has got a little bit of a lead to Psycho Lemmy. So there you go. There's a little bit of excitement in this race now, isn't there? A little bit of a change happening. And then looking back to Constructors again, because it was quite interesting. Red Bull, down at the last, was represented by Cleon, who will score points of Red Bull today, even though he's in the VCarb. And Furious Appy are looking to try and close into the rare Ferraris, but they've got a lot to do, as it is from 31 points to 17. We'll wait and see what they can do. I will also mention Nathan in the Mercedes, new to the Mercedes team, replacing... Who's he replacing? J.I. believe. As Psycho Lemmy does retire. I'm not sure what's happened to him as it's into the pit lane. Psycho Lemmy, we've only allowed 10 laps remaining. Comes into the pit lane and calls it a day. So that has put Yatin up to P5. Psycho Lemmy, that's a really interesting call. Maybe something's happened on his end as he, is into the pit lane, and that is Psycho Lemmy's round over. It's an interesting shout. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I'm sure we'll find out after the race. Anyway, moving back on, it's just not much happening, is there? At the front, we do have below, probably, as we've seen before, going to make a move on Captain. It's not going to be down this straight. As he goes into the chicane, will it be down this straight? As he gets the DRS activated, doesn't want to use any of their battery just yet, does he? He wants to save that towards the end of the Grand Prix, but the end of the Grand Prix is quite close on us now at this point of the race. I want to keep an eagle eye on that, for sure. We did also miss it. Bubba's come into the pit lane, which has promoted MJB and Marks here up into P6 and 7. The medium tyre might provide a bit more grip. Would he be able to close the 12 seconds though? I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. Jens is ghosted. I'm not sure why. I think that's because he's just got lapped, and he has. So Captain and below absolutely flying at the moment. These two showing a masterclass between them both. Whoever wins this Grand Prix has definitely done their absolute all. And to be honest, whoever comes second has also done their absolute all, as long as they keep it clean throughout. They obviously have their hell for the last 26 laps, just whether they can for the final 9 laps. Wait and see. But we did just see Captain getting passed by Blow on that first DRS straight. Can Captain now get past Blow? Yes, he can. Down the second DRS straight, it's as easy as that. With DRS, he's back ahead. So, there you go. Back into P1 he goes, basically. What else should we have a look at? The standings at the moment. There's not much happening in the standings at the moment. It's quite spread out. George Gamer, actually, with the 2-point gap ahead to Bijan, he might be able to get P3 in the drivers with this disqualification for Bijan. We'll wait and see whether this will be possible for him. What else is going on? Dear Alex not being here does give the Ends the chance to jump ahead back up into P6, as there's only 2 points between them both. Ooh. Max T is also level on points with Igor, one barely known as Boomba, so he might be able to jump him. Furious Happy He is only 1 point behind Eleanor. He might be able to jump her. Yatin, the reserve, only has 14 points. What he could do is jump up quite a lot, as he is currently P22 and P17 is Jo, and he's got 20 points. So he has got a lot to do. Same for Dino Stan, who's retired. Below with only 12 points. Same for goes for him. 1 point. He might be able to get back past Paddy Power if he can stay in the points. And that is it. Yeah, that's it. Very, very quiet here in Montreal at the moment. What else is there to talk about? Let's have a look at this little bit of racing action that we're going to have unfold in front of us. Here comes Blow on the exit of turn 10 through turn 11 and 12 are those little kinks, I believe. Unless I'm wrong, let's have a check. Let's have a quick check, see, shall we? Yes, the hairpin is turn 10, and then you've got that little left kink, and then a really small right kink along the straight of that's turn 12, and then you've got turn 13 and 14 of the final chicane, where the World of Champions comes very, very quickly to the outside of turn 14. But with 6 laps left to go, there's all to play for the win, isn't there? It's between Captain and it's between Below. All at the moment, who can do the best at them to get what they need. Ooh, looking at the current switches in the grid order, Georgia's did a very good race. The two at the front, Captain and Below have had a very, very good race, haven't they? With 11-second lead. Even Hump as well, only 11 seconds behind him. Then it's George with 14 seconds behind Hump. Obviously, Yatin has had a good race after the poor qualifying. So there's everyone so far. If you finish the race, you've had a fairly good one, to be honest. You've had a fairly good one. I think it's going to come down to penalties, though, in the middle of the field. If you look at Yatin, he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, and MJB's got none. There's a 9-second gap, so if MJB gets within 6 seconds to the Ferrari car, he will beat him. Same for Max Deer. He's got 9 seconds. Bubba's got none, and he is 6.4 behind and is hunting down like a lion. So I think Max Deer's hopes and dreams for P7 will be thrown out the window. And then the guys behind have got lots and lots of penalties, and it doesn't really change anything. Other than that, a couple of pit stops. Yen's making 3 times this in his pit crew here in Montreal. Not something you want to have a statistic set out for, is it? You don't want to have that. Talking about Yens, actually, whilst we're here, through the World of Champions, if you're a CLR Friday Twitch watcher, if you're not, you should be, but if you haven't watched it, through the World of Champions, the no time champion Yens did actually hit the World of Champions. There's a very infamous TikTok that some of you might have seen. As he comes through turn 13, you see him coming into turn 14. He's got a lovely line, and all of a sudden, he doesn't have a lovely line. His car is spank bang into the wall, and Jens is out of qualifying. That was a very interesting, as he does it there. He goes through the World of Champions chicane and manages to keep it alive. But there's a very, very infamous line that was said by yours truly, George Gamer. Obviously, I won't say it in the chat. Obviously, go have a look at the CLR TikTok, and you'll find it on there. It was very, very exciting to watch. One of my favourites. One of my favourites indeed. What have we got? Max Tier has come into the pit lane. That's for a soft tyre. Obviously, he probably knew that he was going to be beaten by Bubba there. So he has just come into the pit lane. There's no point staying out because he was going to be beaten by Bubba. So he's gone for the softs. With only 4 laps remaining in this race, with the guys behind him coming up to lap him, he's on lap 30 at the moment, and the guys ahead of Captain and below are on lap 31. So Max has only got about 3-4 laps left of this race to go. Will he be looking for a fastest lap? Will Max here be looking for a fastest lap? We'll wait and see, won't we? We'll wait and see. But at the moment, whilst we watch Max here, we do have Captain and below hunting him down. Obviously, he's only a lap car. I'm sure he would imagine he's there on paper, but that's a CLR Friday, or maybe even last season, for those that might remember, Max Tit actually led a CLR race once upon a time. It was at Canada, and I believe it was raining, and it was through this corner. He came out of here and smacked it into the wall, and that was his hopes and dreams of a race winning CLR thrown out the window. So we'll wait and see if moving into possibly Season 5, he can bring his first CLR race win into contention. Wait and see, won't we? We'll wait and see. Maybe F124, no, sorry, not F124, F125 launch season can give the Dutchman any more hopes than he's had so far in the CLR wins. Not very good ratio from wins to finishes at the moment, is it? I'm sure he'll be chuffed. Who else do we want to have a look at? Who else hasn't had much screen time? MJB. He's a very good driver, isn't he? So I accidentally get rid of the timing sheets. MJB, very, very quick. Currently in P6 with his title rival in P1. He's not going to be a happy bunny. He had a bit of a shaky start of the Grand Prix, didn't he? But so far, on his recovery, through the Grand Prix, getting himself back up to C6 is pretty good, so you'd be pretty happy with that. But as Papa gets a 3-second time penalty, Max is going to be kicking himself now. We do have an incident. Something's happened. It's Creon. Creon is backwards as he goes through turn 8 there, I believe. Yes, it is. Sorry, no, turn 9. Hits the outside wall, or the inside wall, and loses his front wing and turns around to face the other side of the track. So Creon might have to pull into the pit lane and change that front wing, unless he can just like drag himself around the rest of the Grand Prix. Wait and see. But there's Max too. He's actually lapped. He's ghosted, and there is Captain getting the DRS. Yeah, he will get the DRS actually, but getting the traction down a lot quicker than the Alpine, and flies away. And so will Below, as they both want to dispatch them quite quickly, as they're going to want to hunt each other down together. Because we are actually coming on to the penultimate lap. What a race of little excitement we've had, apart from at the start. But at the very, very end, the excitement has returned, as we are on the penultimate lap. And we are with Below Captain, as we go through, now turn 3 and 4, towards turn 5 here. Below is just going to be seizing himself up, preparing himself into turn 6 and 7 to try and make a move. Obviously, we all know how overpowered DRS is in the F1 game as we head towards turn 8 and 9. He knows that he's got to play the game, but if he does stay behind for another lap, Captain might have enough in the tank to just stay ahead of him. So Below has got to do a little bit of enough as we go through turn 10 hairpin for the second to last time. Can Below get it right of when he gets past the McLaren ahead of him? It all comes down to who has the DRS, who has the most match battery, who has the right amount of grip on the corner they need to be in, and get that right line and win the race, as we are going on to the final lap of this race now. Thanks to Below for getting us some points. You'll be greatly disappointed, dear Alex. Below won't be getting you any points. Reserves don't score points in CLR. So Haas will be scoring 0 points here today, as you'll be happy to know, I'm sure. But if you're not followed to the CLR Twitch, make sure you do, Alex, because I'm not sure if you've ever followed. If you're not followed, make sure you do. I think it's kids crying now. Oh dear, sorry about that. Anyway, but we're going to see, can Below get the win for Haas anyway, as here we go. Down the first DRS straight, towards turn 8, he stays behind. Obviously Max is still there, trying to get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We've only got a few corners left to go now, as he goes towards the final time, into the hairpin. Turn 10, we've got 2 DRS straights left to go. It's been like this for a whole 35 laps now. It is all down to Below. Can he give it his all to get past the McLaren car? We're going towards turn 13. He's got an extreme amount of overspeed. To the inside the Haas car goes. Turn 14, World of Champions. Can he get the traction down in time? Yes, he can, with 1/10 gap between them both. Below gets his second win in CLR and his first win here in CLR Thursday. Below comes across the line for the first win in his CLR Thursday career. What a race between them both. Captain happily will settle for P2, I'm sure. And there comes Humph wiggling across the line for P3. Another good race from him. Dear Alexis, of course, I follow you, Melon. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you want to follow? We do have Max here. We have the Ends, and we have Furious Appy, and we have Creon coming across the line as lap cars to finish their Grand Prix in P8, 9, 10, and 11 respectively. George Gamer comes across the line just behind Humph in P4. Ilatin will be the next driver to come across the line. P5 in the Ferrari. Nearly Pink Web got it right, getting for that P5. I thought Yatin would do a little bit more on the recovery. MJB with a bit of a poor start to the race, getting involved in a little bit of an incident, does end up in P6. And then Bubba will be our final car to come across the line into P7 here in Montreal. So there you go. That is 35 laps Montreal over just like that. Just like that. So we now need to look at, well, first of all, our podium celebrations. So I'll let you enjoy that. So there you go. That is that race over. There are your results. We have been through them, but there they are if you want to see them again. Looking for the driver of the day here. Ooh, who do we give driver of the day to here today? I'm going to give it... Ooh. You know what? I'm going to give driver of the day to Yatin. I think after an insane recovery drive from the start of the Grand Prix, getting up to, what was it, P8, P7 right at the start, it was incredible, wasn't it? And obviously he's drugged himself up to P5 via the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, I think Yatin is driver of the day after an incredible race from him. Fast lap, it did go to below with a 1:11.142 in qualifying. So in qualifying in the race, qualifying was like a 1:09, wasn't it? Incredible lap time. But yeah, that is CLR Thursday round 17 completed. Looking towards round 18 is going to be the third to last race, and it will be at Silverstone, the home of a lot of our drivers. We will then have Hungary and Netherlands to round off the season, but next time out it'll be at Silverstone. If you want to join in with CLR Friday next time out, that will be at Saudi Arabia, or the Jeddah Corniche circuit. That will be on the CLR Discord, so make sure you join in on there. Links are in our bio. Other links in our bio you might see will be the CLR YouTube and CLR Twitch. CLR YouTube has full race replays from the start of Season 4, and CLR Twitch has, what does it have? It has clips from the start of pre-season going into Season 3, I believe. So make sure you go and have a look at some of them. Drop some likes, drop some follows, and across all our platforms. And looking at current followers from this stream, we have to say thank you to Binkweb for dropping a follow. But other than that, that's me done. Very good race, to be honest. It was a bit quiet. We had a good couple of chats, didn't we? But other than that, that is me out, and that is CLR Thursday over, and we'll see you tomorrow.